Giants know how to win, and they certainly know how to do it in dramatic fashion. And the 1-1. Swinging a flare to right, and that's the ball game. Is scored, steps on home plate, and the Giants win it in the 13th. Last night's walk-off was the 8th of the season, and there's no telling what they'll do for an encore. Giants Nationals next. We've got a very nice night here at AT Park as we get ready for Game 2 of this 3-game series, Nationals and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, a long night last night for the Giants as they win in 13th. So what does that mean? Well, it means they got a chance to take the series with a win tonight, and they'll hand the ball to Jonathan Sanchez. And what can we expect out of young Jonathan?
Well, you can expect some dramatics, and with Jonathan Sanchez, it's always about how he can control his fastball. The last 2 outings, he's throwing 12 innings, and in those 12 innings, he's walked 10 guys. Now, he has to have better command with the fastball if he wants to go deep in the game tonight, and they need him to eat some innings. The bullpen ate up 8 last night. They're a little beat up, but I think for Sanchez, he likes pitching against these Nationals. 24 innings lifetime. He struck out 27, and he's 1-1. So hopefully he can go deep, and that's what we'll look see if he can do it.
All right, Jonathan Sanchez on the hill tonight for the Giants. All right, when we come back, we're going to take a look at an at-bat. Jeremy Affeldt keeps telling everybody he can hit. Well, he had an at-bat last night that was pretty interesting, and Amy G is going to look and talk about that at-bat right after this.
AT&T. And by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
It's just an absolute beautiful day in the Bay Area, the one we've been waiting for, and fans are rolling into AT&T Park getting ready for Game 2 of this three-game series between the Giants and Nationals. What a game last night. It was the 10th extra inning game on the season for the San Francisco Giants. Freddie Sanchez putting it into the dogfight with a walk-off hit in the 13th. Welcome back to AT&T Park. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and you can't overlook the bullpen in last night's victory. 6 different relievers put up 8 shutout innings, striking out 9 Nationals, and Jeremy Outfelt part of that crew. He got it done on the mound as well as in the batter's box. We take you back to his AB last night on his 32nd birthday. He took an absolute hack at the first pitch and told me later, "I didn't see the ball at all. I just swung." He ended up drawing the walk, just the second of his career, and said it was hard to not crack a smile when he reached first base. He joked with Roberto Kelly that Kimball, the Nationals pitcher, came up on him twice, but he wasn't going to bite. And Ron Wodos, the Giants bench coach, told me earlier today that he was surprised when Jeremy Affeldt decided to swing on a pitch out. Everyone joking, of course. All right, the Giants hoping to get it done in a quicker fashion this evening. They hand the ball over to Jonathan Sanchez. He'll square off against the Nationals' Jordan Zimmerman. First pitch coming up in moments, but after these messages, we're going to check in with our Sportsnet Central studios for an update.
In game 2 of the series. Our game time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Hey, get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 61 degrees here at the yard. We got winds at 13 miles per hour, humidity at 69%, and it's been a while since we've said this. Clear skies. All right, let's take a look at the Nationals lineup. It'll be Bernardina to lead things off, followed by Desmond Espinosa, and then Michael Morse, who's been red hot, and he had a big night last night, including a home run. Ramos will hit 5th, and it's Ankiel Hairston, Lance Nix, a late add to the lineup, and then it's Jordan Zimmerman 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Jonathan Sanchez, the 28-year-old left-hander, 6 feet, 200-pounder from Puerto Rico. In 12 starts, he's gone 4-3 with a 3.50 ERA. And look at the strikeouts. Over a strikeout an inning, 72 and 69 and a third. Just 51 hits allowed. And for Jonathan Sanchez, that simply means the league's hit 204 against him. And that's one of the leaders in the league in that category. When he's right, his fastball will go 90-94 with lots of late movement. A low 3/4 delivery, very, very deceptive arm angle. He also has a slurvy breaking ball and a split. He'll throw anything that he has at any count. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Jonathan Sanchez tonight. Starting in your outfield. In left field will be Rowan. Torres in center. Sherholtz over in right. Crawford and Gillespie. That's right. A couple of rooks on the left side of the infield tonight. And Connor Gillespie getting his first major league start. Freddie Sanchez joined by Aubrey Huff on the right side of the infield. And Chris Stewart will be in the squad putting down the signs.
So we are ready for baseball here tonight, as these two teams, after playing 13 innings last night, will be ready to go here tonight. As Bernardina getting ready to stand in, and we're just about ready for baseball. And Sanchez deals, and it's a call strike.
Interesting that the outfield that the Nationals have tonight are all left-handed hitters.
Yeah. Bernardina pops this one out of play.
Bernardina, Rick Ankiel, Lance Nix, who was a late addition to the lineup, with Jason Worth getting the scratch because of some ankle problems. He sustained an injury in last night's ball game. So wound up 3 lefty outfielders, which we have not seen against Sanchez this year or ever.
Bernardina went 1 for 4 last night. He walked a couple of times.
You see what Sanchez has done against lefties. They're hitting just a .56.
And he got him, and that's how this game gets started.
Late breaking, slurvy breaking ball. And I think that's what makes his breaking ball unique. I mean, as a slurve, he kind of throws it halfway between the slurve, the slider, and the curve, but it's quick and it's late, and it's a strikeout breaking ball.
So here's Desmond. Desmond, who had a good game last night. He went 3 for 6. And that first pitch sails in and out of the glove of Stewart. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes. And Sanchez pours in a strike at 90. The Nationals 10 games back of the Phillies. They're 2-3 on this current road trip. And they're 10 games under 500 on the road. And losses like last night really hurt any team, but especially the Nationals, who are just trying to creep back up into the race. Nationals had a 4-0 lead after 3 innings. This is popped to shallow right field. It'll be Aubrey Huff doing the pop-up dance, and he dropped it. As Freddie Sanchez kind of ran into him. And it'll be an error probably on Huff.
Well, there's the pop-up dance as the wind starts to take it back into the field, and there's the collision. It really is a better angle for the second baseman, but once you stop and get underneath it and the ball starts to take its drift, it's anybody's ball. So the Nationals get a break here, and Jonathan Sanchez is going to be asked to try and throw through an error. As you see, our Ultra Mo. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
So here's Danny Espinosa.
Hitting .316 versus lefties.
Overall, 10 home runs for Espinosa with 33 RBIs. Mike Morris is on deck.
A huge discrepancy between his batting average from the left side, which is 179, and the right side at 316.
One ball and no strikes. And he catches that at the knees to even the count.
Greg Gibson is a good strike zone for a pitcher. I mean, he's the kind of umpire I think looks for strikes. I think he likes the low ball preference, but he'll also give some belt highs according to the rule book. And if you get width, I mean, you have to earn it, but he'll go with you. It's a good zone to throw to.
Foul back. Good swing by Espinosa, and it's 1-2. Nationals have played 12 games against teams in the West, and they're 6-6.
See Morris, the first baseman, and that unusual habit he has of lifting his front leg.
Outside, 2-2.
And believe it or not, it's called a pitcher's drill for a hitter. And he'll rock back and he'll lift that left leg up and rock back on his back leg to try and keep that feeling of staying back on his backside. That's one of his triggers. And you see a lot of tall hitters down the minor leagues using that drill. And he's taking it right with him up here to the big leagues.
Crawford underhands it to Freddie Sanchez, and that's a double play. Andres Torres will lead things off. Gillespie and Freddie Sanchez, his second walk-off hit of the season, and he's been swinging a great bat. Then it'll be Huff, Sherholtz, Rowan. Rowan hit a home run last night. Crawford will hit 7th, Stewart, and then Sanchez pitching and batting 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Washington Nationals will be Jordan Zimmerman, 6'2", 220-pounder in his 3rd year at the big league level. And with Zimmerman, you see his numbers, 3-6 with a 3.61 ERA. He's a quality arm, and when you get in the batter's box, this guy, you're going to find some good stuff thrown at you. Fastball will go 93 to 97. It's a solid fastball, and he can 2 and 4 seam it. Curveball, slider, and a changeup. Probably his best strikeout pitch is the slider, but he'll throw everything he's got at you. And when he's right, you'll see a lot of ground balls. Let's take a look at that defense for the Nationals. Beginning in your outfield, and this is the outfield of lefties: Bernardina, Ankiel, and Nix. Desmond and Hairston on the left side of the infield, Espinosa and Morse on the right side. And Wilson Ramos will be in the squat putting down the signs.
Here's Andres Torres, who looks at a strike. Torres at 264, a couple of home runs, 12 RBIs, 2 for 6 last night, and he fouls this one down the left field line and out of play. According to our notes, Torres has never faced Zimmerman before. There's Connor Gillespie on deck, and that's fouled at the plate.
As I look at that slider at 88 miles per hour, it's not a big one, but it's late, it's quick, and he has excellent command with it. And Torres just did get a little piece.
Gillespie and then Freddie Sanchez. Home half of the 1st inning. And he comes right at you, doesn't he?
He does.
I mean, it's almost like he's throwing downhill on every pitch.
And the Washington Nationals feel that he's really pitched in some bad luck this year, that his numbers should be better in the win-loss column.
Hit out into center field. Coming in is Ankiel, and he will slow down and put it away. 1 out for Gillespie. Gillespie got a base hit last night and a pinch hit appearance. The reporters asked Bruce Bochy before the game, after playing extra inning game last night, because they asked Bochy about Gillespie. They asked him, did he earn his start because of his base hit? And Bochy said, well, it was a long game last night. He said, I wanted to give Miggy a day off. He said, Gillespie's been swinging a really good bat in Fresno, and he's also been playing some good defense. So, in a roundabout way, maybe the answer was yes.
Well, you can't be around Gillespie very long and watch him take batting practice without really falling in love with his swing. He's got a good hack, a nice approach, very balanced. He uses a lot of the middle of the diamond. He'll go gap to gap. I mean, he's not an easy guy to strike out.
I think if you go up into my attic, I can find a bat that's got that rubber donut.
You haven't seen one of those in a long time.
I have not. And I always wondered why guys didn't use them. And I'm happy to see somebody is. All you're doing is you're choking up, but it feels like you're down at the end. 1-2. I guarantee I've got one laying around somewhere.
You should bring it.
What? Put it on my binoculars?
No, a couple guys down there might like it.
On the ground to Espinosa. 2 outs.
The only problem I had with that donut, that rubber donut, is that when you broke your bat, it was so hard to get it off.
Yeah, getting on and off is not easy. You're right. Like now. Here's Freddie Sanchez. Sanchez at 296. 3 home runs, 24 RBIs. Trying to get on for Aubrey Huff. 1 ball and 1 strike. Usually isn't until what, about the 5th inning where they start the Freddie chant?
Yeah, about the 5th inning they start getting into the Freddie chant.
1-2. Desmond at short will make the play, and that'll end the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Zimmerman. 0-0.
Take a look at the Giants' homegrown pitchers. Well, Tim Lincecum, Madison Bumgarner, Matt Cain, Brian Wilson, Jonathan Sanchez, Sergio Romo all came up through the Giants farm system, and you can see how they were picked. How about Sergio Romo? 2005, the 852nd guy. Gamer.
Jonathan Sanchez. 820. That's a fair ball. Hit right inside the line. Rowan's going to get to it. And here's his throw. And it's going to be offline. And Morris with a leadoff double. He's a guy you want to avoid right now.
Well, he's a good low ball hitter. And he gets one right in his wheelhouse. That cuts right in at the knees, middle end. Boom. Got a good swing. He got a lot of confidence. He's been hitting home runs just about every day. Here he gets another extra base hit.
Here's Wilson Ramos, the young catcher. And he takes a pitch in tight. 246, 4 home runs, 17 driven in. Pulls this one on the ground foul. Bo Porter knocking it down. On deck is Rick Ankiel. Sanchez and Stewart trying to get on the same page. And that's hit on the ground. Gillespie with a nice backhanded play and a throw. And that's one out.
Now, in that this is Gillespie's first big league start, will that ground ball calm him down a bit?
Right now, he'd like everything hit to him.
Well, this was not an easy play. He went down and speared a backhander, checked the runner, and threw him out. Everything you'd hope a big league infielder could do. Watch him check the runner. Wow, he's good. Now he goes and makes the play. Nice balance play. Good quick feed showed there.
Here's Ankiel. Ankiel takes in tight.
Take a look at our Toyota Ultramo. And you look at how he spears the backhand. Braced himself with his throwing hand. Quickly gets up with a look and then throws him out. I mean, the whole play looked like he's doing it his whole life.
Inside corner strike.
Ankiel with good lifetime numbers though against Sanchez. 2 for 5 with a double.
And now it's 1-2.
Oh, he's got a good curveball tonight. With Sanchez, if his hand's high enough, you're going to get a good angle on the break. It's going to have good downward slant. At times, if his hand's too low, that breaking ball can flatten out. And that's not the case tonight. He's got a good arm slot going with that breaking ball.
Jerry Hairston Jr. is on deck. Good view from the end of the Giants dugout. Pulls this on the ground foul. This is one of the best nights weather-wise that we've had.
Oh, it's spectacular. The whole day here in the city was just absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. You can see as the sun is starting to set. And we will see some reflections of the mirror and the glass up on the Berkeley Hills tonight that will make it look like bonfires, and it's always our favorite time of day.
Ankiel steps out. Top of the second inning here at AT&T Park. Good night for a ball game. Ankiel pulls another one foul. Giants are coming into today's play a game up on Arizona. Arizona lost tonight in Pittsburgh 8-5. They lost the lead in the 8th inning and then lost the game. Giants are 3-1 on this homestand. The 2-2 to Ankiel, and he pulls this one foul.
All right, ball dude had a chance to make a play. It's Andy Salas over at first base tonight. Andy. And over there we have Terry Imbedin. Looking very cute tonight.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him.
Split finger fastball was the payoff pitch.
Well, it'll be the Nationals one more time tomorrow afternoon. So let's keep the sellout streak at AT&T Park alive. Still tickets available to the game tomorrow. Go to sfgiants.com, and it is indeed a day game. And you come out and get to see Matt Cain on the hill. Here's Hairston. There's Cain, Matt Cain, the elder statesman of this staff. Believe that?
At 26 years old.
Hairston, a 248 hitter. I might like to have dinner with that group. What do you think?
You'd laugh out loud a few times.
There are more different personalities in that bunch sitting right there than you could shake a stick at.
they are not boring.
Strike to Hairston. And maybe the most interesting of them all, The one on the end. The one with the beard.
Very colorful.
1-2. Something's up with Hairston. This didn't look right.
Now he's taking a long time. It may have tweaked himself on the swing. And he got a little grimace right there. So he is definitely taking some inventory.
Lance Nix is on deck. Should Hairston reach here in the top of the second inning. Glad you joined us. And the 1-2. And it's slowly hit to Gillespie, and he'll let it roll foul. Sanchez had that start against the Nationals in Washington, D.C. That was a start where he got sent to the woodshed about the second inning.
Yep. I remember it. And he came back and dealt.
And he did, and the Giants ended up winning the game. And it was the only game they won in that 4-game series.
Hairston is not comfortable.
Very high, 2-2.
Tried to accelerate that fastball and add on to it there in the 1-2 count. Such an easy pitch when you try to throw the ball harder to miss high with it. Because when you do that, you come out of your rhythm and you open that front shoulder up and you fly that front side and then you drag. And when you drag, you miss high. And that's something that a catcher sees immediately.
Hairston on the ground to short. Crawford has it. Came up a bit on him, but he stays with it, and that'll end the inning. Aubrey Huff's going to lead things off for the Giants. It remains 0-0. Of the second inning. And here's Aubrey Huff. Huff had 221. And he hits a high fly ball in the left center field. Ankiel on the move. He's not going to get it, and it bounces away from Ankiel, and Huff is on the move. And Aubrey Huff is going to glide into third base with a triple.
He crushed that thing, and I'm sure he's standing at third base wondering how that thing did not get out of here.
Now that's a swing everybody's been waiting for.
Now sent him on the outside corner, and Zimmerman puts it right in the glove. And Aubrey Huff finally finds the opposite field gap. And you're right, this is the swing that everybody's been waiting for. That ball was roasted. And boy, he takes off right here and hits the wall. And he starts sniffing a bag, and you watch him going in. Finally, safe at third, safe and secure. That's New York Life.
Here's Nate Sherholtz. Swing and a miss. No balls and one strike. 262, 4 home runs, 16 driven in. Nationals will give the Giants a run with a ground ball to short, second, or first. And better yet, a line drive into left center field. Sherholtz on the move. He's going to go into second base. Huff scores 1-0 Giants.
Boy, back-to-back opposite extra bases. Triple by Huff, and now a double by Nate Sherholtz, and you cannot have better balance at the plate than those two at-bats. Hazel Mullins, the Giants hitting instructor, you are smiling. So again, this is not a hanger. A little off-speed pitch on the outside court at the knees. You try and pull this thing, you hit a ground ball to the second baseman. Here, he stays inside it, finds a gap, good at bat.
Here's Aaron Rowan. Rowan shoots one to right field. This may do the job. Nix catching. Tagging is Sherholtz. Here's the throw. He's going to make it. A productive out for Aaron Rowan. And that's a good job.
Again, opposite field. A guy like Zimmerman who's hitting his corners, you cannot try and force feed a swing. You have to take the location he gives you. And you've got to be disciplined to use that side of the field. 3 good at-bats this inning, and Giants take the lead.
And now the infield will come in for Crawford. First pitch strike right at the knees, and it's 0-1. To the defense. Ankiel shading to left center field. The gap is in right center field for Crawford. Almost to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike.
They say breaking balls don't hurt. That one would have hurt. An 89-mile-an-hour slider, that would have left a bruise.
Big chopper. And Morris will go to the bag. Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by the Solar Company. Visit thesolarco.com for details about their new 0-down lease with monthly payments as low as $99 for qualified buyers. Here's Stewart. Stewart trying to bunt his way on. Jabs at it and misses, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Stewart 0 for 6. He has scored a run. One ball and 1 strike. Stewart hammers one to left. Going back is Bernardina, and he will make the running catch. And that'll end the inning. Giants are on the board.
Here at AT Park, it's a cause near and dear to the heart of former Giant great Will Clark. He's here tonight. He went on the field for a visit with his family. His 15-year-old son, Trey, is autistic, and I spent some time with Will before the game today and talked to him, and he actually said he's so privileged to know that the Giants have taken so much time to bring awareness and education to autism. He said 15 years ago there wasn't as much awareness, and he actually retired from baseball to spend more time with Trey. It's a very special night for the Clark family. Gentlemen?
Indeed it is. Will the Thrill. We knew him just as a young whippersnapper.
Yeah, he was young. He was green as a gourd when he first came up.
Here's Lance Nix. Nix gets spun around, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
He had the greatest instinct of anybody I ever played with. He was just 100% pure baseball player. A lot of fun.
I tell the story, I've told it a number of times, but the three of us after a game, I was a broadcaster then, you and Will were teammates, but he's with us, so he's got to go where we go. And where do we take him? We take him to a sushi bar. Well, he thought we were going to a bar. He didn't know it was a sushi bar.
Oh my Lord.
What did he say? He said he thought he was eating bait.
Yeah. Well, remember his first at bat, 1986. Opened on the road in Houston against Nolan Ryan, and the first at bat he does this. Hits a bomb out to center field over the wall at the Astrodome, and hitting balls out the center in the Astrodome just did not happen. And you talk about a great clutch hitter. Yeah, he thought he was looking at the place where they made bait. He couldn't quite figure out sushi.
Well, Sanchez right now having a hard time throwing a strike. Which from time to time, that's not unusual. There's the Clark clan.
Son Trey right next to his wife Lisa. And here comes Ella, his daughter, in the background.
Ella, you just put yourself in a bad spot. And a good bunt. And it's going to be Stewart to Sanchez.
Before the game, Will Clark came down to the dugout to shake the hands, fire up the troops. Talk about feeling at ease when he's in Mike Murphy's clubhouse or any dugout in baseball. To him, that's home.
Yeah, what was Huff telling us? Huff was, just a young, not a young kid, but he was growing up in Fort Worth when Will was playing for the Rangers. But he loved them. Here's Bernardina, and he gets hit.
He's going to feel that one. That got him in a bad spot.
At the rib cage?
Yeah, and he's looking for air right now. This is how you turn to protect yourself. And all that needs is a little time to wear off the sting.
We should mention, you'd think Jim Riggleman would be on the field. Well, he's not. He is serving a suspension that was issued today for the activities that went on in Arizona. So Jim Riggleman watching from one of the booths at our level.
Jim Riggleman. Bob Boone, former Philly great, went to Stanford. He's a big league manager himself.
And a breaking ball to Desmond. There were other suspensions. Kirk Gibson got suspended, but I believe he's appealed. Is Merlin Vasquez suspended? Jason Marquis suspended.
5 days for Marquis.
Into center field. Torres coming in, and he's going to trap it, and then it kicks away from him. And Bernardino's going to go to third, and here's the throw, and he made it. And this game is tied. So a walk, a hit batter, and a base hit.
That's going to be ruled a single and an RBI. And then a fielder's choice is how they're saying the runners move up. Glad to see that Torres was not given an error in this play. In fact, he was given an error.
What?
It's a tough error right there.
Yeah, that is. Upton got hit 4 times in that series. Worth got hit, I think, 4 times as well. And this was after warnings, and Marquis hit Upton. And it was a 1-0 game at that time. And Marquis, great acting here. Look at this.
Yeah, he was acting like he didn't do it on purpose. But everybody knew the deal. Umpires were not fooled.
Here's Espinoza. By the way, John McLaren is the bench coach who has taken over the duties. And Espinoza takes inside. He hit into a double play in the first inning. A walk, a sacrifice bunt, a hit batter, and a single. And it's high, 2-0.
And the red hot Mike Morris on deck.
That's going to be a souvenir. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. .43 pitches for Sanchez here in the 3rd inning. And the 2-1. Here it is to Espinoza. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Good curveball.
So this is a strikeout situation for Jonathan Sanchez.
Indeed, and you can imagine that Bruce Bochy would love to get this out and save that open base for Mike Morse. on-deck hitter who's been swinging it very well.
Pulled foul.
Ooh. Just play Terry. Had a bib.
Terry knocked it down. See the number, the percentage of walks that have scored. How do you compare that to the league average?
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. I'd like to know that.
Look out. Pete DeLonzo.
There's Pete. Now with Pete, we know that that was an ugly finder.
How true were words were never spoken. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him.
Throws him with a great curveball. Came from the backside and went right around that outside corner. And that's exactly what he was pitching for. Boom, just drops right in the breadbasket, and Espinosa sent packing strikeout number 3 for Jonathan Sanchez.
Well, they do have an open base for Morris. So far, Bruce Bochy hasn't tipped his hand on what he wants anybody to do. Trusting his starter.
Well, that first pitch is where you should throw it with Ramos. I mean, a tall hitter, you want to see if he can hit that inside pitch at the hands. I think his swing right there is geared from knee-high location. Good low ball hitter. At least that's what we've seen in this series so far. Now here, if you go in the strike zone, make sure you stay away from a predictable fastball.
And now they'll walk him intentionally.
Well, I think that was the whole philosophy behind the at-bat. First 2 pitches, throw one on his hands, see if he wants to swing. If not, just walk him. So they indeed do use that open base.
Ramos hit a ball sharply to the backhand of Connor Gillespie at third. Swing and a miss. So that very important first pitch goes to Sanchez. No balls and 1 strike. Just off the corner to even the count. Buster Posey showed up at the ballpark today. Was here earlier before batting practice even started. Dave Gretcher said he spent a couple hours in the clubhouse. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 and 2.
Well, the clubhouse can have a great effect on somebody who's going through a rehab. I mean, it's got amazing healing powers. Being around the troops, that will definitely uplift your spirits. It's just great to have them at the ballpark.
Got him on a pitch in the dirt, and Sanchez limits the damage. The Nationals do tie it up.
for all 4 games. And Saturday's game, actually Friday's game, is a 7:15 game. Post-game fireworks are presented by Chipotle Mexican Grill. Then Saturday, June 11th, will be a Legends game. Come out early as festivities will start at 11 a.m. And then Sunday, June 12th, skateboard deck presented by Nestle Drumstick. First 7,500 fans 14 and under to purchase tickets. You go to sfgiants.com. But there's also more goings on Saturday, June 11th. Smoothie?
Indeed there is. This is from the Giants' Wives auction. And, well, Jonathan Sanchez takes us at bat. We're going to tell you a little bit about it. On Saturday, there's a silent auction from 11 a.m. through the 4th inning. It's at the Community Clubhouse. And it's featuring player favorite things baskets. Some wonderful baskets. As there's a strike to Sanchez. And that's a silent auction. So come on, check that out. And then after the game, there's a post-game live auction. And that's on top of the Giants dugout. And some of the items, a pregame meet and greet with Cody Ross. Plus you record your voicemail greeting. Batting practice for 4 at AT Park. Watch the game with Will Clark. Pitching lesson with Matt Cain. They've got some Buster Posey autographed catching items. And you know what? They got a lot more. And really what you need to do is go to jrgiants.org and check out everything that is in store for you should you participate as Sanchez rolls this foul. And the proceeds go to the Giants Community Fund, Mark Gardner's Step to the Plate Foundation, and George Mark Children's House. Silent auction at the Community Clubhouse from 11 to 4, and then a post-game live auction on top of the Giants dugout. All right, you got that? Don't ask me to repeat it.
I do. Well,
and
yes,
Saturday is also the Junior Giants glove drive. So bring an old glove. We donate 10, 15 bucks. And we with the fund will buy a glove for a kid. As Sanchez cooperates with a long battle and then finally the strikeout.
He did. He gets some pitches out of Jordan Zimmerman. Well, Amanda Sabian and Kim Bochy came by to give us the upcoming auction gifts.
They bribed us.
They did. They brought cupcakes. They know how to bribe us. But the Giants' Wives are really a very proactive group, and they do spend a lot of hours raising money for various charities throughout the course of the season. And this is a day when you can help, and it is money that goes to good causes, believe me.
1-0 to Andres Torres, and Torres takes a breaking ball for a strike. Hunter Gillespie is on deck. Swinging a foul to the backstop.
Well, the Madmen are here from Stillwater Cove, California.
Down low, 2-2. Nationals 1, Giants 1. Bottom of the 3rd inning. And a full count. There's Gillespie. The payoff pitch. Got him.
Good, hard slider. All right, time for Subway Eat Fresh. Ask Krug and Kite. Visit csnbayarea.com and ask us a question. We'll answer one a game. This one comes from Crispy from Lakeport. The question, can you explain pitching a simulated game? Yes, we can.
Here's Gillespie, who bounced out to second. These girls came prepared. And a base hit for Gillespie.
He can hit.
Nice flat swing.
Well, the guy's coming back from a disabled list injury, and he's starting to build his arm strength back up. As you watch the swing, that flat swing Kite's talking about, you see that bat stay in that zone a long time. basically simulate the game as a controlled environment. And you get the experience of throwing against hitters, pitching against live hitting. But they're going to let you stay out there and throw 15, 20 pitches, and then you'll come in, sit down, wait 5 minutes. Maybe somebody else will go out there and throw a simulated inning opposite yours. And that way you can control the amount of stress that you put on an arm that's getting rehab back to good health.
Here's Sanchez. Which is bounced out to Desmond, the shortstop, as he takes that breaking ball for a strike.
It's Ryan's first Giants game. Well, welcome aboard, Meat. Where you been?
Ryan, way to go. On a play. Did Ryan bring friends?
Yeah, there's his sister.
Yeah.
Ryan, turn around, face the game. The game.
And that'll do it. As Zimmerman strikes out Sanchez. He strikes out the side. We will head to the fourth.
Moment in last night's game when umpire crew chief Jerry Davis took a foul tip off the right forearm. He had to be treated by Giants trainer Dave Greshner before going back out and eventually leaving the game. I actually spoke with Jerry today. He's doing good, guys. Bad contusion, but no fracture. He had an x-ray, and he is the second base umpire this evening. Gentlemen.
All right. And Keel is standing at second base for the leadoff double.
That's the one thing you don't want to see after a guy's had a long inning like Sanchez had at the top of the third. First pitch, get it in breaking ball, and he just yanks it. I think back in the last at bat, Keel had about a 7 or 8 pitch at bat. He saw a lot of breaking balls. Here he saw it early, waited well, and raked it right down the line for a leadoff double.
There's Jerry Davis. Hairston bounced out to Brendan Crawford in the second inning. Here he takes in tight. Gillespie and Huff both in at third, or one in at third, one in at first. Hairston's job, get Keel over to third or get him in. Two and 0. Nix on deck. Hit out to right field. Now Scherholtz is going to catch and let fly. Is tagging his Ankiel, and the throw is a bit offline. All right, here's our AT&T trivia question. The Giants have taken 7 shortstops in the first round. Which one did they take with the earliest pick? So Hairston does a good job. Nix drew a walk and scored in the 3rd inning. So the Giants will play the infield in. Sanchez, the only exception, is he's about halfway. And the pitch is in tight, and it's 1-0.
Well, as big and as strong as Nix is, it's not comfortable to be playing on his pole side of the field, even with the grass. So they do give Freddie Sanchez a few extra feet back up.
Well, you don't have to even throw Nix a strike. 2-0. The pitcher Zimmerman is on deck. That's Ankiel. In tight, 3-0.
Well, the point you made about not having to throw a strike is a good one, because they don't with a pitcher on deck. Jordan Zimmerman, though, is a pretty good hitting pitcher. There's no guarantee he's going to bunt if Nix walks.
And that's a walk. Yeah, that's Colin Kaepernick, the Niners draft pick out of Mike's favorite school other than Cal Poly.
The University of Nevada, Reno. He had a great career up there for Chris Ault, head coach. And his last game was played in this ballpark.
Indeed it was. Is this Bruce Bochy getting some things off his mind?
I think so. He looked pretty focused heading out to go see Jonathan Sanchez. Yeah, Nevada beat Boston College in the Emerald Nut Bowl here at AT&T. Kaepernick was the star. And hopefully he will play a long time as a Niner. He's quite an athlete. And he is a Giants fan.
Zimmerman with a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd, and he shows bunt early. And it's a safety squeeze, and everybody's going to be safe.
Well, if you execute that play right, there's not a lot you can do about it. And Zimmerman handles the bat well. And the whole thing is you don't break until the ball's bunted on the 3rd base line. And for Aubrey Huff, really, even if he makes a perfect throw, there is no way that they're going to get Rick Ankiel. As a runner, you go as soon as you see that bunt on the ground.
Here's Bernardina, who takes down low. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Nix at second, Zimmerman at first. This is going to be a tough play, and it's going to be Crawford with a terrific sliding catch right on the line.
Well, he had to go a long way for this. This is creativity right here as he goes into a slide to protect himself, and very quickly to his feet to go back and look at the back runner, Lance Nix. Watch the instincts on the play as he gets his feet and looks right back to the infield to see where the runner at second is.
You could see at the last second, Gillespie peeled off.
I tell you, this kid's fun to watch, man. He got some game.
Here's Desmond. And a strike. Foul back. 0-2.
Well, he was coming out of that shoes. That next fastball he was going to see.
Desmond with an RBI single in the third inning. And Gillespie's going to tag him, and that'll end the inning. Little indecision by Gillespie, but he pulled it off, and the Nationals take the lead.
In any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LP.
All right, here's our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. We're also going to give you the answer. Giants have taken 7 shortstops in the first round. Which one did they take with the earliest pick? 6th overall pick in the 1973 draft, and that was my old double play partner, Johnny Lee.
Good teammate, John the Master.
Slick fielding Johnny Lee.
And he had a cannon. There's the Dwayne Kuiper chair. Pretty girl sitting in it. What's new?
Right there's where we need to do a game.
I'm in.
You got your chair. I got mine. Just hang out. Huff takes a strike. See?
Ain't nobody sitting there.
Not yet.
You, on the other hand, totally occupied.
2 balls and 1 strike. Those folks are just moving around. Huff with a triple in the second. 3 balls and 1 strike. That's from Mike's chair.
That's a good view.
Looking right into the yard. And now a full count. That's Greg Gibson making the call. And sticking by it.
Yeah, we got to do a game out there. I'm with you on that.
Well, we made the request for the McCovey Cove Loft down there, down the right field line.
Yeah.
Nobody ever got back to us. Huff rolls it foul. It stays 3-2. On the ground up the middle, Desmond to his left, and he will throw him out.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking Account.
Nate Scherholtz doubled in the second. He knocked in a run. Out of play. Padres have taken a 2-0 lead on the Rockies in San Diego. That game in the 6th inning. Dodgers. Well, they beat the Phillies. And the Pirates beat the Diamondbacks. That's the stuff that's going on in the National League West. The 1-1 to Scherholtz. Breaks his back, flips one out beyond short, and Desmond will put it away. Well, the Legends game is this Saturday. Batting practice is going to start at 11:15, so come on out to the park early. Following the BP session, the alumni will participate in a game. You'll see the likes of Gaylord Perry, Mike McCormick, John Montefiusco, Sean Estes. They'll be on the mound. Here's Rowan, who fouls it back. You'll see hitters like Terry Whitfield. Bill Miller's coming back. JT Snow, Sean Dunston, Darrell Evans, Jeffrey Leonard, who just had surgery. He's going to be here, but he will not play. The same holds true for Kenny Henderson. Rowan up the middle and a base hit. That's a 2-out hit for Aaron Rowan, and that'll bring up Crawford. So anyway, come on out. Purchase tickets. Go to sfgiants.com. It's the Legends BP and game. Here's Crawford.
Well, I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Seeing the old timers come in. Get to see Will Clark hit one more time.
Crawford bounced out in the second.
I guarantee Will Clark will have a good at-bat on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, you can wake him up at midnight on New Year's, and he'll go out and lay out a rope. Better make it 2 o'clock New Year's morning. There's a thrill.
Rowan goes. Crawford smokes it into center field, and then Keel tracks it down. After 4, 2-1 Nationals.
stories in this day in Giants history. June 7th, 2008. So Jonathan Sanchez tossed 7 innings of 4-hit shutout ball against these Nationals in Washington to win his 5th game of the season. And Johnny Bowker, he led the attack for the Giants with his first career grand slam, and the Giants won it 6-0.
I remember that. Here's Espinoza. Two balls, no strikes. Sanchez now taking a little walk. Espinoza hit into a double play and he struck out. Second inning, Morris led the inning off with a double. Third inning, Sanchez walked Nix to lead the inning off. And Keel doubled to lead off the fourth. That's a bad pattern.
And you really are flirting with danger when you consistently allow that first runner and that first hitter to get on base.
Might have got some help. It's 3-2.
Well, you know, that's what pitchers like about Greg Gibson. I mean, he will look for strikes. The 3-0 pitch was inside. This is a 3-1 pitch on the outside. So you're getting quite a spectrum of width inside, outside, the 2-pitch sequence there. Fastball, fastball.
Get out to right field. Scherholtz on the move. And he will backpedal and put it away.
Nice comeback there. Well, Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit FINS.com.
Morris has doubled and he was walked intentionally. He's the hot hitter in this lineup right now. Worth scratched right before the game. We heard it was, you know, a tweak of an ankle maybe, and we kept thinking that maybe, remember, he stumbled over the bullpen mound in the game last night, and we thought maybe that had something to do with it. Never confirmed, however. It's 2-0.
Again, behind the count. Well, that's the mound that got him.
Two balls and no strikes. 3-0. And that's a 4-pitch walk. This was the play last night that we're talking about.
Just caught his left toe and it caused the stumble.
For Sanchez, the 4th walk that he has issued. And the hitter is Ramos. Ramos bounced out to third. Gillespie made a nice play. And then he struck out in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded.
That last pitch for Jonathan Sanchez was number 80. And a lot of tonight's ball game has been out of the stretch.
Plus the tired bullpen. And a strike. Bruce Bochy was asked today, is everyone in the bullpen available tonight? He said everyone is available. He said Ramon Ramirez obviously is the most fresh because he did not throw last night. So he could go 2 or 3 innings if needed. That's probably not a scenario you'd want to have to think about, because that's foul down the third baseline.
Well, I mean, that's one thing that Dave Righetti will do every day, and he'll put together a number of innings that he thinks that he can get out of his bullpen. He'll present that to Bruce Bochy. But they did not allow Ryan Vogelsong to throw his side bullpen before the game today because they figured that they may need an inning out of him.
Towards the hole and a base hit past Crawford. Boy, that ball shot through the infield.
Yeah, I had a lot of topspin on it. As soon as it hit the ground the second time, it really jumped. Good chance to see this thing. Looks like cement. Boom. That's the bounce you're talking about. The second bounce.
So here's Ankiel, who doubled in the fourth. Well, Ankiel, I think he looked breaking ball every time off of Sanchez.
I agree with you, especially after he struck out with a bunch of them in the first at bat. He's up there looking for nothing but.
This home run came last year in the postseason. And it's now 0-2.
Well, that was the difference in that ball game. And that was the win, the lone win for the Braves in that series. And that was an incredibly hard-fought series.
Remember that game? Burrow hit a 3-run home run in the first inning. The 0-2 pitch to Ankiel. Very close, 1-2. We're starting to see some people move towards the Giants bullpen.
An old reliable heading down the hill. Guillermo Mota to the pin to get loose. Through 2 innings last night. A great baseball. Struck out 3.
Got him.
Went down below the zone and he got him to fish. And that's a big strikeout. 5th strikeout for Sanchez. There you see it. It looked to me like it was not a breaking ball. It looked like a split.
Yep.
But good location. That's how you use a 1-2 count to your advantage.
Hairston is bounced out and he's flied out. And he takes one wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Sanchez, by the way, is due to hit second in the bottom of this inning. Two and 0.
Yeah, he's not close. 2 easy takes. I mean, how many times has he been 2-0 in this inning?
Yep.
A lot. 21 pitches already in the inning. As you mentioned, I mean, this seems, to him, it has to seem like the whole night's been out of the stretch.
Three-0. Morris and Ramos are your base runners. Three and 1. Three and 2.
Well, that's some 3-1 paint right there. Hairston giving a little body language showing disapproval to Greg Gibson, the plate umpire. Stewart sits up on that outside corner, goes right between the knees. And it is a pitcher strike. Hairston spent a lot of time out of the box. Get the box and hit.
Yeah, I have to think that it has to be a health issue. 3-2. Runners will go. And he walked it.
Well, make note of this Giants television schedule change. Due to the NHL playoffs, this Friday's Giants game against the Reds will now be broadcast on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area with Giants pregame live starting at 6:30. The next NBC Bay Area game will be next Thursday, June 16th at 6:30 as the Giants and Diamondbacks play Game 3 of their NL West showdown from Chase Field in Phoenix.
All right. Rigetti has his little talk with Jonathan Sanchez. Lance Nix has walked twice. His first pitch, very important. It's 1-0.
It's a big pitch.
And he gets the strike, and that evens the count.
And that'll give him a little breathing room, and he can at least aim for a corner here in a 1-1 pitch. Had he have gone 2-0 down, he'd have really had to challenge Nix. And guys with this kind of power, you just want to try and avoid those challenge pitches if you can help it.
That's foul. Easy.
Oh, it left, right. There it is.
We need a beeper.
And helmet's trying to work its way off.
I'm not sure John McLaren is seeing the same thing out of Pearson that we are. And they're going to get him out of the game, I think.
That's got to be his back. He may have done that his very first at bat.
If you've lived a little bit, you know exactly what it feels like.
Well, way back in the second inning on this swing, he went after a fastball, swung through it. He grimaced there, and it really took him a while to get back in the batter's box. An extension on the follow through quite possibly was the reason he knotted up.
And Brian Bixler. More importantly, it's 1-2 to Lance Nix. He got him. Stewart steps on home plate. And once again, Jonathan Sanchez, Mr. Houdini, they leave him loaded.
Panda update for all the Panda fans out there. He started at third base tonight with the Fresno Grizzlies. In 4 at-bats, he had a 2-run home run, a sacrifice fly, and an RBI, fielder's choice. That's 4 RBI on the evening. Dwayne and Mike, he will be here tomorrow with the Giants to work out, and then they're going to decide whether to send him to San Jose or with the Grizzlies to Utah to face higher-level pitching. Gentlemen?
All right, thanks, Amy. Good news. You gotta love the Panda.
Yes, we do.
Here's Stewart, who takes down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Stewart really had a nice at bat. His first at bat, only to be robbed by a good play by Bernardino. There you see Riquetti talking it over with Sanchez.
Bernardino.
Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek's Heat Wave giveaway, win cash, prizes, match play, and more every day. Visit cachecreek.com for details.
Here's Pat Burrell. So you can close the books on Sanchez.
Oh, yeah. He's feeling it.
Burrell out to left field. Bernardino puts it away. And here's Andres Torres.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can have a stress inning in a game before you just run out of gas. And he had 4 of them in a row.
Dixler is now at third for Hairston. And Torres takes a strike. Torres is 0 for 2. He flied out in the first inning. He struck out in the third. Pops this one out of play, and it's a quick 0-2. Well, you talked about Sanchez having stressful innings. The Nationals through 5 have stranded 9. Torres stays alive.
Well, the Giants have to be fortunate that the score is 2-1.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Torres bounces this one in front of the Nationals dugout. Day game tomorrow, and then the Reds will be in town starting Thursday night. One and 2. That's the Comcast Sportsnet area cheer card. And he's happy.
Well, they should be happy.
Yeah, those are very valuable. We'll give those away. Say Hey Tuesday out in Willie Mays Plaza. And that would be today. Is that what Greg Papa and Biff Roberts were today?
Yeah.
I always love to see Morley's hair go flopping around.
Yeah, it was flopping.
3-2 to Torres.
Now Biff's hair starts flopping. Now we got some serious wind.
We got a problem.
We got Hurricane Edna rolling down King Street.
3-2 to Torres. And Torres, a sharp single into right field. Second inning in a row, the Giants have picked up a hit after 2 outs. And that'll bring up Connor Gillespie. I think it might be time to challenge the kid Ramos behind the plate.
Well, we saw him throw us. Washington, he's got a good arm. It really is going to be up to Jordan Zimmerman as to what type of unload time he can have to give Wilson
Ramos a chance to throw out Andres Torres. But this definitely is a steal situation.
Torres is back. Giants trying to get something here after 2 outs, with Ramon Ramirez coming into the game. Well, Torres started to go, and it may have been that Gillespie took it because he thought Torres was going to go, and then Torres put on the brakes.
So as a hitter hitting second behind a base hitter, how many will you take to give him a chance?
I mean, I think if you feel comfortable doing it, take it until he goes. And he goes. And this is popped up. And Espinoza will put it away, and that'll end the inning. After 5, 2-1 Nationals.
Like Freeze, can we go back second inning, man? A second, nobody out. Wilson Ramos up, and the kid Gillespie at third goes to his backhand, squares the runner up, and throws down Ramos. And we'll look at that backhander and freeze that can. That's your Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Ramon Ramirez to Jordan Zimmerman, and the first pitch is high. 2-1 Nationals. Zimmerman takes a strike. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Zimmerman's got the RBI that gave the Nationals the lead as he swings and misses 1 and 2. He had a sacrifice bunt, kind of a delayed squeeze.
See the numbers for Ramon Ramirez. A good start to his year. That's the hack right there. I mean, Zimmerman knows what he's doing on the wood.
That's a good hack.
Oh, yeah. That's my guy right there.
Hit out to Triples Alley where Nate Sherholtz will put it away.
I'm voting that guy best dressed. I don't know why. I'm just feeling it, man. Yeah, best dressed.
See, I don't think he's got a seat.
It's Rook and Kipe.
I just think he's wandering around.
He doesn't need a seat.
There's a cane there somewhere.
There you go. gamer.
Here's Bernardina.
We always wonder where they put the standing room only guys, and we just found out.
Or you happen to wear something like he's wearing, and they might not give you a seat. 2-0.
That's a possibility. That I can't argue with.
But you come like this, you got a seat. Two and 0 to Bernardina with Ian Desmond on deck. And a bolt into center field for a base hit. Well, I mentioned it earlier, and I will repeat it. Saturday, June 11th is our annual Junior Giants Glove Drive presented by Bank of America. Remember, there are over 7,000 kids who do not own a glove who play Junior Giants baseball. So bring a new or used glove or make a $10 donation at the game on Saturday, June 11th, and you will receive a Brian Wilson or a Giants World Series pin. The pins are just way too cool. If you can't make it to the game, you can also help by donating money online at jrgiants.org. $10 buys a kid a glove. Come on out. Bring a glove. Go in the garage. Look around. See? Look at these kids be. They'd be having no fun if they didn't have a glove.
Yeah, you got to bring the glove. Let's have the attitude come to the yard.
There will be people all over outside the ballpark and inside that you will notice that will accept the donation or take the glove. See, where would these two be without a glove? Not clearly as happy.
Yeah, but pretty happy.
See, they would rather take the glove than that sweatshirt.
It's a good choice.
Runner goes, pitches high, and just sliding in was Bernardino.
Tell you look at Chris Stewart. I mean, he's got a cannon. Ramon Ramirez can be very quick. He can be very slow. And his time out of the stretch then was 1.45, and that's slow. And despite that, it was still pretty close. I mean, that's a big jump, but look at Stewart's arm. Bang. But indeed, the play was called right.
And that is exactly how you want your second baseman to field the throw. Straddle that bag. Let that catcher's arm do the work. Here's the pitch outside, 2-0. Desmond picked up an RBI single in the third. Three and 0. Danny Espinosa is on deck. And a strike, 3-1. And they nearly had Bernardina picked off.
Well, you have to turn and you got to throw. If you have to think and throw, it's too long. And there was a little delay. And there's the lean. Just did get back in. Well, the Stanley Cup Finals are going full bore, and Game 4 will feature the Canucks against the Bruins in Boston tomorrow, 5 p.m. on Versus. Vancouver leads the series 2-1, so check it out. Got a chance to see an old friend of ours. Kevin Franzen came into the booth tonight before the game. He brought a friend of his. Ryan Clough.
Yeah.
San Jose Shark. It's fun to talk hockey with Ryan.
Espinoza takes a strike.
Good chance to visit with Kevin. He'll be going back to work in about 3 weeks. Phillies organization.
He looked good.
He did.
Very wide to Espinoza. 0 for 3 tonight. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
Good changeup.
Right back to Ramirez. To Crawford. To Huff. Side retired.
I like.
Call 1-800-FARMERS or visit farmers.com to find a local agent. We are insurance. We are farmers. By Xfinity, home of the most live sports. And by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, get the new bourbon barbecue steak grilled sandwich at participating restaurants.
Here's Freddie Sanchez. 2-1 ball game. Nationals on top. Sanchez is bounced out and he struck out. He shoots it out of play. He had the game winner last night down the right field line. Nice play by Espinoza to throw out Freddie Sanchez.
Boy, it really was. I thought off the crack of the bat it was going to be a knock. And when I saw the ball short hop Espinoza, I knew it was going to be a tough play, but he really had quick feet to back up on the plug. He really caught that ball. The ball was by him. 360s, and now he's got all the time in the world. The beauty about being a second baseman. Nice play.
Huff is tripled and he's bounced out. Nate Schultz on deck. Huff pops this one shallow left field. Bernardino coming in, and he will make the running catch. And let's check in with Amy G.
All right, Dwayne, Giants fans, log on to csnbayarea.com for the latest webisode of the Authentic Fan featuring Ashcon. Of course, you know his new song, Feeling Like a Giant. You've seen it, you've heard it, and now you can go behind the scenes of the video. csnbayarea.com, your interactive home for the Giants all season long. Gentlemen?
All right, thank you, Amy. The Authentic Fan. Here's Sherholtz. Sherholtz doubled in a run in the second and then popped out to the shortstop Desmond in the fourth. And this little pop-up is out to Espinoza, and Zimmerman with a very nice sixth inning. Seventh inning coming up.
On the upper deck? No way!
Here's our Toyota game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Pitching duel is they always are here at the ballpark. Nationals 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Zimmerman's been fantastic. Nate Sherholtz is the only RBI for the Giants. Jonathan Sanchez, it's not unlike a lot of his starts where he will walk people, he will strike people out, but he just does not give up a lot of hits or runs.
He stranded 9 in 5 innings and somehow pitched out of it.
Here's a guy that's been on base 3 times, a double and 2 walks, and that's Mike Morse. Ramirez allowed a single and a walk in the 6th inning, but he got out of it as it's now 1-2. That's a tall target in Mike Morris, and they get the high strike. And that's skied out to Andres Torres in center field. 1 out.
Great 1-2 pitch. Great 1-2 pitch.
Ramos 1 for 3. I was watching some of the replays of that series between the Nationals and the Diamondbacks, and you know, there's a little hot, let's put it that way, for both teams. Swing and a miss, nothing in 2. Ramos hit a home run in that game during the course of all the people getting hit, and it took him 23 seconds to do the trot.
Yeah.
And you'd have thought Matt Williams had lost his mind in the Diamondbacks dugout.
Yeah.
The big Marine got big.
Well, he had about a 15-second home run trot, so in his eyes, the 23 seconds was about 7 seconds too long, or 8 seconds too long.
Popped out of play. It stays 1-2. But it's fun to see the big Marine upset. There's Bip.
There's Bip.
Yeah.
Always looking sharp. And the wind did not miss his due.
1-2 pitch. Swinging a shot into the hole, a base hit.
2-hit night for Wilson Ramos.
This was the Espinosa got hit in the back, and then the home run by Ramos. And this is where he took his time.
He definitely slowed it down.
Can you see how the big Marine would be unhappy with that?
Yeah, I think well, knowing Matt Williams, I absolutely can see why he'd be unhappy about it.
Oh, my goodness. I love to see him mad.
No doubt in my mind he'll be a big league manager someday. No doubt at all.
And Keel looks at a strike.
We timed this out. The last time we saw Chris Stewart throw down when Roger Bernardina stole, we had him at 1.75 from the time it touched his glove, the time it touched the second base, or it was Freddie Sanchez, I believe, who received the throw. And that is extremely fast.
Remember, Ankiel was the hitter that hit the home run in postseason off of Ramirez.
Well, I know Ramon Ramirez hadn't forgotten it.
Got him. And that'll bring up Bixler. Bixler came in to run for Jerry Hairston in the 5th inning. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Giants in the bottom of this inning will have Rowan, Crawford, and Stewart. And a strike to Bixler. Bixler with a 125 average. He's 3 for 24. Keith Bell in that ball game in San Diego to try to close it out against the Rockies. And a swing and a miss, 1-2. Down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Afternoon baseball tomorrow. Giants pregame live will be on at noon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him, and that'll end the inning. It remains 2-1 Nationals. Well, here at the park, the Giants need one to tie. They need another one to take the lead. And it'll be Rowan, Crawford, and Stewart. Rowan's 1 for 2. Giants with a run on 5 hits. Zimmerman throws, and Rowan takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. The Padres have just shut out the Rockies 2-0, so that game is over. Here's the 1-0 delivery to Rowan. And Rowan shoots it into center field. And Keel got a good jump, and he will track it down. All right, let's check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, the Giants wrapped up day 2 of the draft. Today it is our Ford right choice. We're going to throw up a graphic for you to take a look at their first 9 picks, 7 of which came out of college, and 4 of those from the Pac-10. They like the West Coast. And a quick side note, congratulations to former Giant Sean Dunston. His son, Sean Dunston Jr., went 11th in the draft. The Cubs took him. Gentlemen?
All right. Hey, the former Cub. As Crawford takes outside 1-0. Crawford, he's bounced out and he's lined out. And right now ahead in the count 2-0.
He has stayed in the strike zone a lot. That's been one of his strengths. Some 2-0 paint. Nailing that outside corner by Zimmerman. Been able to do that a lot tonight. He's had good command of his stuff.
3-1.
That's such a key as a young hitter gets the big leagues. And everything gets a little bit quicker. Guys can pitch to the corner a little bit more, and you see a lot of guys go out of the zone. But Crawford has stayed in it. Good at that.
Well, tonight, the 26th consecutive sellout. 41,786. Way to go, Giants fans. You are doing your part.
Yes, you are. The support has been unreal.
It does hurt the ratings, though.
Yeah, nobody's at home watching us. They're all here. Just kidding.
Here's Stewart. Down low. Cody Ross is on deck. Bullpen activity now for the Nationals. And John McLaren's coming out. I think that's John McLaren.
It is. Tyler Clippard, the right-hander, starting to get loose for the Nationals down in their bullpen. There you see Jim Riggleman, who is serving a 1-game suspension because of the beanball war that the Nationals and the Diamondbacks got into over the weekend. He'll be back in uniform tomorrow. He's just a couple down that way. But it has to be a weird feeling for a manager to be off the field and be in the stands. But when you're suspended, you cannot be in the clubhouse. You can't be in the dugout. You got to take a hike.
Treasure Island, good spot.
Go sit out a 1-game suspension. Hadn't thought of that.
Back is Crawford. Yep. That was fun.
Yes, it was. World Champs 2010.
Hit and run. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. And they got him. Caught stealing 2-4.
Little slider that Ramos goes down and gets, and as he reaches across, it cocks his front shoulder, comes out very compact throw, and a nice strike down to the second base bag to get his runner.
Well, we don't know if it was a hit and run. It sure looked like it. Two and two. There's Cody Ross. Off the end of the bat. And that'll end the inning. We will head to the eighth. Well, some of what has happened here at the ballpark. It's a 2-1 lead for the Nationals. A new pitcher for the Giants. It's Javi Lopez. When it's time for a change, think speedy. Oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up is small expert.
See the numbers for Javier Lopez. The 29th time that he has come in to a baseball game. He has been a workhorse. And he'll be asked to pitch a whole inning tonight.
Lance Nix will look at a strike. Comes back with another strike, and it's 0-2.
That's some paint right there.
Jason Worth is on deck.
If you're a hitter tonight, in Greg Gibson's zone, you better expand, especially with 2 strikes.
In the dirt. Stewart a nice job of blocking, and Nix is retired. And here's Worth. So Worth, who did not start obviously, and is a pinch hitter, started in the game last night, as you would expect. Anyone 0 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, good low ball hitter. Lots and lots of power. Another perfect location pitch from Javier Lopez, who was just in one of those grooves that we saw him in last October, where it didn't seem like he ever missed the glove. And he's been locked in of late.
And a quick 0-2. So this means Zimmerman's out of the ball game, and it'll be a bullpen game the rest of the way for the Nationals. Trying to backdoor him 1 and 2. The Nationals have stranded 11. The Giants have stranded 4. In the dirt. Bernardina is on deck. This is the top of the 8th inning. And that's a foul ball.
Well, he almost hit that thing fair. Nice play. It's a player right there. Let's keep an eye on the red hat coming into your picture. He doesn't need a glove, not with hands like that. That's a player. Phone in one hand, snag with the other.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Hit on the ground to Crawford.
Well, the Giants have unveiled plans to create a World Champions Walk in recognition of the 52-year journey that led to their first World Series championship. And you can have your own personalized brick. All you have to do is go to sfgiants.com/brick, and you can add your memo, your note, your name, your message, whatever you want, in stone. Partial proceeds will benefit the Giants Community Fund.
First pitch, Bernardino shows bunt. 1 ball and no strike. And a strike. That evens the count for the Giants in the bottom of the inning. It'll be the pitcher spot, Lopez, then Torres and Gillespie. And there's the bunt. And Lopez spears it. Not a problem. Giants have a little bit of work to do. It's 2-1 Nationals.
the 4th inning with 1 in, 1 on. And Roger Bernardino hitting a little Texas leaguer. And Brandon Crawford going to come a long way. Slides into a backhander. He squares up very quickly to check the back runner at second. That was a beautiful play. That's our Home Depot more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot, the doing more on defense.
So we have a couple of changes, and there's one of them. Tyler Clippard is on the hill.
See his numbers. He's having an outstanding year. 42 strikeouts against another walks at 34 2/3. He heated up there pretty good. Depending on the grip, he'll go 90-95. Sharp curveball and a great changeup.
And it's Cody Ross waiting. And it's in the dirt, 1-0.
Opens him up with a changeup. That's confidence. A little bit of herky jerk from Tyler Clippard in his delivery.
Waiting around the entire ball game for an at-bat, and here it is. And the 1-0 pitch is right there for a strike. Torres to follow. And then Connor Gillespie, 2-1 Nationals.
Those are good pinch hit numbers lifetime for Cody Ross, 264.
And a good eye. He's 0 for 7 lifetime against Clippers. And the 2-1 pitch. And it's high, 3-1.
Now here's where you can gamble a little bit.
Well, with the power of Cody Ross, you'd expect him to take a pretty good rip if it's a good pitch. If not, the Giants would be happy to take a walk. Here it is, the 3-1 pitch. And he walked him. And they'll take it.
Decision time now for Bruce Bochy as to whether or not he wants to give up an out to get that runner to second.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of giving up outs.
He has three options really. Do you steal him? Do you bunt him? Do you hit and run him?
No
sign of a bunt there. Nationals are anticipating a possible bunt with Bixler playing in on the grass at third as you start to see the only lefty in the bullpen for the Nationals, Burnett, getting loose.
And the strike. Of course, didn't know for sure. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Tying runners at first. Ramos was coming out throwing. Ross was not going. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
There's the changeup, and I mean that's a pearl. He had big time reach in the swing of Torres. You don't think about a changeup. If you throw it like that, I mean, you don't even have to have knee-high command.
That's true.
Throw it out there right at the belt, you can still get a guy off balance.
And he got him.
Came back with 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And that's a nice two-pitch sequence there from Clippard. Set up an inside corner. This thing goes to the outside part of the plate. But a swing and a miss.
Well, the changeup prior to that had everything to do with that swing and miss. So here's Gillespie. Gillespie is 1 for 3. One ball and no strikes.
First pitch changeup again.
Sanchez and then Huff. Sherholtz would like to hit this inning. And Ross gets back.
Ross has got 3 steals on the year. He's been thrown out once.
Clippard sets right at the chin. And this is popped up to the left side of the diamond. 2 outs. And here's Freddie Sanchez.
Well, this is his time of the game. He's had a lot of late inning heroics this year. Coming up with a big hit to knock in a run or keep the line moving. The Nationals are backing up their outfield. Very deep in left. Close the gap in right.
Clippard, although he's done a nice job after the walk to Ross, hasn't jumped out in front of any hitter yet. This is popped up into left field. And that'll end the inning. 9th inning coming up.
This three-game set with the Giants and the Nationals. Pre-game live starts at noon. You'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Yuneski Maya on the hill for the Nationals, taking on Matt Cain. And we'd love to have you join us here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. 2-1 Nationals as we head to the top of the ninth.
And it's time for a change. Think Speedy. Oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
The numbers for Casilla. Very good. This is his 7th game.
Bunted back to Casilla. 1 out.
That's a gift. Thank you very much.
Rowan is now in center field as he moves from left to center. Ross stays in the game. He's in left. Here's Espinoza.
Espinoza's been pretty quiet tonight.
He tries to bunt. No man's land for Huff. And Espinoza is going to beat it out.
But that's something you don't see very often.
Back-to-back bunts.
Especially from a guy hitting in the 3rd spot in your lineup. And for a guy who's leading the team in home runs, you are a bit surprised to see him bunt this late in the ball game with a 1-run lead. But hey, it was a good bunt.
Well, he's hitting 179 left-handed, 316 right-handed. So why not?
I think that's what he was thinking.
Here's Mike Morris.
Now, if he's going to go up there and bunt, now we got a news story.
Yes, we do.
I don't think this guy knows how to bunt.
Espinoza's got 5 steals. And Ramirez plants that right on the inside corner, and it's 0-1.
Drew Storer, the closer. He didn't take a whole lot to get greased up.
Out of play, 0-2.
He was tardy on that swing. That was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Casilla. We have not seen the 96, 98-mile-an-hour fastballs we saw so consistently last year with Casilla.
Runner goes. Swinging a shot right at Crawford. Crawford will go to Huff. Actually, he will tag Espinoza, and that'll end the inning. All right. 2-1 Nationals. And the new pitcher is the kid from Stanford, Drew Storen, who is the closer for these Nationals.
Well, he's got excellent stuff. You see the numbers that he has amassed this year, 4-2 with a 2.67 ERA. And Storen 11 for 12 in save-offs, 26 strikeouts against ace blocks. And we're going to see a mid-90s fastball with a power slider. You're talking about a guy who came into the scene in a hurry. High draft pick out of Stanford, and really one half year in 2009 he signed it. At that time the minor leagues in 2010. He was at 13 games in minor leagues, and then boom, he was in the big leagues. Spent the majority of last year anchored down a spot in that Nationals bullpen, and he really walked up the ladder quickly and has inherited the role of closer, and he's done a nice job.
Aubrey Huff is 1 for 3. He tripled in the second. So here we go. Very high, 1 ball and no strikes.
There's 41,786 people here tonight, and nobody's left. And that tells you all you need to know about what they believe this team can do.
Huff caps this one. Storen stays with it and throws Huff out. 1 down. That's a big out. And here's Nate Scherholtz.
Anytime you can send power back to the bench in the 9th inning, that is a big out.
Scherholtz is 1 for 3. And he takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes.
And Wilson heading down with Mark Gardner of the Giants bullpen. Storen's going to work that fastball on the outside part of the plate, basically saying, if you're going to beat me long, you're going to have to go opposite field to do it.
Big chopper. Morris has it, and he will go to the bag, 2 outs. So the Giants are now down to their last out, and it's Aaron Rowan.
Rowan leaves.
Rowan's got a hit tonight. He singled in the 4th. The Giants have 5 hits. And it's a strike at the knees to Rowan, and it's 0-1. Should Rowan reach, it would be Crawford. Up the middle, Desmond. This should do it, and it does. And game 2 in this 3-game series goes to the Washington Nationals behind some strong pitching by Jordan Zimmerman and a nice job from Clippard and Storen. And Mike, we've seen a lot of magic in this ballpark, and the Giants just did not have any of it tonight.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, and pitching for the Nationals was just outstanding. Jordan Zimmerman was in command all night long, and the Giants just couldn't get that one big hit going. And, it's a lot of tribute to the guys on the mound who wear the Nationals across the chest.
The Giants did not get a runner into scoring position after the 2nd inning. Final score here at AT Park. It's the Nationals 2 and the Giants 1. Esurance Giants postgame live starts with interviews on the wrap. It's coming up, but first let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio for an update.